Test, test, test. There we go. What's my... Okay, that's okay. I don't want it to have it blasting in my ears, but I want to be able to hear it still. I do need to post on Instagram. Live. All right, and let's do a sticker. Okay. Make sure that posted. Okay, good. That went through. Take a little drink. I thought last time it tasted like beer, but I'm like, it's like a beery aftertaste. We've got lots of kitty belly today. That one's not coming out. There we go. Okay. What are my... Oh, I hate this one. Inspire Envy. I don't like that one. Well, all of these are cut off. I only have Power Through, put a little strut in it. That's new. Don't waste a precious minute. And it's yours for the taking. That one's partially cut off, but I can still read it. I don't like the Inspire Envy one. All right, so what I've got to do today is first I got to do a little sketchy sketch, but I also have to do some shop update stuff because I want to launch the shirts for Halloween and fall and get those because those are all good. The samples came in on the ghosty floofs, and so I want to get those going, and I need to... I kind of want to design some shop update slides for the fall, so I can probably do little elements. Maybe she's holding the pumpkin. course, I need to make this taller, so let me just go ahead and let's just pop that over to 6. I think that'll fit a little bit better. So doing a little Cozy Town Market stuff. Let's get these guys figured out here. I also have some reels I need to record. So I want to do a kind of a shortened version showing the comics and how I make them. Like I'll start out probably, I kind of want to make a little script document, but some sort of a process or format that I can do a little shot list and then maybe a script off to the side. But I don't really do well with scripts. I feel like it's awkward if I am, the best I can do is with notes, I think, because if I'm reading a script I get very awkward. But if I'm just kind of riffing and talking on points, I think I do a lot better. Sharon, hello! Happy Tuesday to you too. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I had a really, really lovely outing on Saturday. I went to a local park here and took Pete, and it was so pretty. It wasn't crowded. It was and it was far cooler in the shade of the trees walking on the trails than it was when I had to go out from them. There are a couple of areas that this park crosses utility lines as well as pipelines, and so it's kind of like suddenly you break into a meadow, but of course the meadow is open to the full blast of the sun, and you really felt it going out there. Yeah, it was so much fun. And it's along this creek, and I call it a creek, but yeah, it's a creek, but it actually goes out to be a bit more substantial a little further down. But the start of it has kind of a little bit of a shallower pool and some little sandbars that you can kind of walk out on. And the first one I encountered had people like, setting up beach equipment, sitting out there and just, playing, kids making sandcastles. Walked a little bit further down, and there was another one that was really nice, and then the third one I think was my favorite. It was so peaceful, and yeah, even there it was cooler, I guess, because you were kind of down low, and kind of had the breeze going through on the riverbed, creek bed, and but yeah, it was really, really nice. And did that. I did it about 6 miles, I think, what it ended up being. And but that will definitely be a repeat. I was most concerned about restrooms being nearby, and this particular one had a really good kind of a central area Like all these facilities, it had showers and actually really nice restrooms. And it also had not a clubhouse, but they call it a nature center, where they organize all the activities. And there are a lot of youth groups out there doing like their things and their group things. But that was a majority of the people I saw out there, and they were kind of stuck too close to the main area. And Pete was well behaved. He didn't. He only really was kind of chuffing and huffing at one group, and it was because they stopped close by. It was like a group of bikers, but. Gosh, what else? Let's see. So I did that on Saturday. Oh God, I saw a couple of, started watching a couple of, I started watching how many times am I going to say I started? Last week I was watching the Twilight marathon I just had it running on the background, but that one was started at Breaking Dawn, so I was like, okay, I've got to go back and watch the beginning. So I started that, and I also saw Final Destination Bloodlines. They're just so ridiculous that they're entertaining, but you kind of find yourself in you're trying to figure out how the characters are going to die, if there's anybody that's safe. I don't know if you're familiar with the Final Destination series, but that's the whole thing. Like the main character has a vision that all of the people in the immediate vicinity are going to have this horrific death, and so that person immediately acts on it, saves all these people. But then Death is not happy about that, and he comes back one by one to claim them again. So the Bloodlines, I think, is the 5th or 6th. I think it might be the 6th. And yeah, it was about as ridiculous as you could possibly be. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I was curious, so may as well. God, I mean, who thinks up these? I guess they take I guess that if you gather a bunch of people in a room and say, okay, list out all the most ridiculous ways you fear that you're going to die, they draw from that. Because, I mean, some of these things, in the earlier movies, you get kind of the classic urban myth deaths. The kid gets sucked into the drain at the bottom of the pool or whatever. And I think that was in the 2nd or 3rd one. But then they get more outlandish the further you go in the series. But yeah, so I saw that. I guess it started my annual Halloween horror scary movie marathon. But if you're a fan of the series, I think it's a fun one. And it got like quite good reviews. I was surprised on Rotten Tomatoes that it was like, I think it was like 90 something and 80 something critics versus audience. So I guess everybody likes that crazy series, or most people do. If you like, that type of horror movie. But I saw that, and let's see, did the the first Twilight and the second Twilight, which is my least favorite of them. Oh God, I complain every single time. I hated those chapters in the book where it was just November, December, and it's just a blank page. I was like, are you kidding me? Really? Yeah, so finally got through that one, and we can get to the next in the series. I think they're doing like a whole Fathom event thing with those, where they are combining it with an orchestra. Like they play, I've seen that for several movies where they'll take the original score and they will arrange for an orchestra to be playing the actual music while the movie is also playing. So I'm trying to think what other movie I saw them advertising for that. I don't want to say it's Indiana Jones, but it may have been. I really like the Fathom Events stuff that they've been doing in recent years. I went to the Galaxy Quest one, and that was more of a documentary. It was a documentary on how Galaxy Quest was made, and just the kind of just that moment in time that made it possible. And something I thought that was really interesting was I guess it was, them recalling that they could kind of do whatever they wanted because everybody at the studio was laser focused on the production of Gladiator at the time. This huge, big blockbuster, IP that's currently in production kind of took the Eye of Sauron off of them, and so that allowed them to do kind of what they wanted and do the, picture how they had intended without much oversight. And it resulted in kind of, what some people call the greatest of the Star Trek movies, even though it's not technically a Star Trek movie. It is a Star Trek movie, but I think I've watched Galaxy Quest more than I've ever watched Star Trek. But yeah, that was a Fathom event I went to, and then I really like to see all the older movies that come back. There's one place here. Hey Catherine, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. I saw that there's one place here that has, they're bringing back Pacific Rim. And that was one I missed in the theater that I would absolutely love to see again, or rather, yet again, on the big screen, since I never got to do it the first time. Now let's put a floof on her head. I'll just put a floof stand in right there. And we gotta have mouth, even though probably won't have his mouth open. So what I'm working on today is shop update graphics and sure thing, I can definitely do that. I just got word back from Box Lunch on the blind box set I'm working on. And you've seen some sneak peeks of a project, that's what it is. I have one small edit on the design, so I'm excited that otherwise they're good. It'll be my first blind box. I actually bought one because I've never bought a blind box before, because I wanted to see, you know, kind of the packaging that's involved, and as far as this goes, what I need to design here. And so I got this, it's a Peanuts Halloween blind box, and you can have, there's 6 designs. There's Charlie Brown as a skeleton. There's Linus as a mummy, Lucy as, I guess, a princess, and oh god, the other girl, she's a witch, Snoopy's a mummy, and Woodstock is on a broom. And inside you've got the little black bag that conceals the pin, but I got Woodstock on a broom. And this is in conjunction with Loungefly. So, yeah, they're really nice pins too. Very beautifully done. Yeah, so that's the sample I got because I wanted to figure out, you know, a little bit of the logistics, you know, what I need to do, because the only blind boxes I was really familiar with were those for like toys and that type of things. I think I got, well, I take that back. I have gotten a few blind box items, but it was for, I think I got a cat hat for her that's a banana. I think I have a banana and another fruit because I got 2 of them. But that was a bigger blind box. And then, of course, I've seen all the figurine ones, like the Labubu stuff and all of those. Those are bigger. And I've seen Tokidoki's with their smaller figurines, but even so, those were quite large. So I wasn't familiar with, you know, the common practices for pin ones. You know, how much space do you have to work with when you're showing the designs that are possible in here. And actually, this is pretty cool. It's actually, I really like how they designed this. And the box quality is tremendous too, of course. It's like this huge cardstock. It's almost like this thing is, oh, wait a minute, this opened. I'm finding out things about my box that I didn't know. This opens up. I want to see what it says. And let's try not to cut myself because I'm clumsy like that. What is this? Oh, it's just directions in 20 different languages. Well, that's disappointing. I thought it was some like funky functionality slider thing. It's just directions and let down, but that's okay. There's my pen. There's my pen. At any rate, so that's what I just got some feedback on, which is great. This floof needs to, we need to make him smaller. I'm just gonna go in here and make, but yeah, I've been in, I did some recon at Miniso. We have a Miniso here, and it's primarily blind boxes now. I mean, they have like plush walls, and I remember I went there maybe a year or 2 ago when they first came into the mall here, and I feel like they had more variety. They had more like keychains, accessories, even a little bit kind of Daiso-like, where they have kitchen stuff, like random types of stuff that you could use, or school stuff, or, you know, pencil cases, all of that. They even had food, but when I went there recently, it was like it was almost like the floor had flipped to a lot of blind boxes, which is really interesting. I'm gonna put his little footer just kicking out. Just the way that animated just now, it made me feel like the pen was really inky. Like I have a Pentel pocket brush and I just had a little bit too much pressure and the ink bled out. One of my favorite parts of Twilight is the Volturi leader, Aro or whatever. It's not I always want to say Arturo, but it's not Arturo. It's like Aro or something like that. He's just such a goofball. And you can tell like the actor saw the part and just went to town with it. He also plays the I remember him as the android kind of bartender in Passengers, that movie with Chris Pratt and what's her face, Jennifer Lawrence, which I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was certainly like the whole setting and the just it was pretty spectacular. Oh, I like space movies though. Move this over here. I got that floof there. I've got this floof here. And I should probably put a bigger floof here. Whoops. Let's see, what else can I add here? I don't want to do some more pumpkins, like to fill in the area a little bit. I can do that. I'll go ahead and group this pumpkin separately, and I'll drop the color in there separately as well. Very excited, Leaves. Alright, if you want to be that way, just go over here, we'll zoom in. I do kind of want to bring this a little bit thinner. Uh-oh, it's bath time. I also managed to see a little tiny bit of the desolation of Smaug. I believe I've only seen the Hobbit movie series once. I mean, I watched Lord of the Rings at least once a year, if not multiple times. But the Hobbit ones, I never really, I didn't enjoy them quite as much. And I think in seeing it again in just a little bit, I think part of my issue was the switch from a lot of practical effects in the like the orcs and the monsters to digital. You can really see it, especially in that orc leader guy, and really a lot of the orc sections. But it just, I don't know. The originals hold up so well. I mean, not to say that the scenes with Smaug and, you know, all of the, just that whole mountain scene with the gold and, you know, all of that, and the chase and the small dragon stuff, it's just tremendous. But I don't know, there's just something. And of course, Lee Pace's Thranduil was delightful. He's another goofball. I remember the first time I saw that scene where they introduce him and you get like these glamour shots of, you know, him crossing his legs, the crown. I just started laughing because it was so over the top and so ridiculous. I mean, but it fit perfectly, and I don't know. I think part of my problem is the pacing would have been much better. Oh, totally, yes. They kind of didn't have to cram in the Battle of the Five Armies. Yeah, I definitely think they probably should have cut it at 2 and yeah, switched it up a little bit better. Because I'm trying to remember when I first tuned into it, I was trying to figure out, now, am I in the first movie or the second movie? And it wasn't until, you know, I backed out and looked it up that I was like, okay, so now we're in the second movie. And I was thinking of what happened in the first movie, if in the second movie, if we're just getting to Smaug now. I mean, what's gone on in this first movie? And I really can't remember. And I think that's probably a problem because you have just very detailed knowledge of what goes on in you know, Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King. Every single bit of event is, you know, very crystal clear in there. And I don't know, I think there are just a couple of things that it didn't capture my imagination and interest as much as the others. I think part of the reason I watch those around this time of year, like the originals came out in December of those years, and of course, you know, it was an event to go see them in the theater, and I think that's why I always think of them at this time of year. I've got to watch The Hobbit again. I'm getting towards that time. So we've got some good pumpkins here. Let's get rid of my pumpkin sketches. Pumpkin. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these two floofs. Since my pumpkins are grouped, I can go ahead and select them like that easily. Send them to the back. And I can edit freely. And I'm going to do the same with Momo and her little baby floof over here. Since everything is grouped, it's easy to deselect what I don't want. Now, what other marathons have I watched recently? I did do a recent viewing of the Indiana Jones. I did that. I don't really watch Jurassic Park I don't really do marathons of those. I watched the first one of, like, I enjoyed, of course, the original, but I believe it's the third one with Tia Leone and William H. Macy. They're the parents that won't stop yelling in the middle of dinosaur-infested island. I think it's the third one. I actually thought that one was pretty enjoyable. The second one, didn't really care for it that much. But I watched that one a little bit more often than not. And then I enjoyed the original, the world, the first one. Didn't care for the others at all, 0.0, and was quite actually irritated with the last one. Dominion. I haven't seen Rebirth yet. Oh, that Dominion. That one just irritated me so much. Dee, hello. Welcome to the stream. What a week it's been so far already. Indeed, it's just Tuesday. I hope it's going well for you. Do I want to have them close like that? Or do I want to just scooch that up a little bit? Our latest movie marathon was the Harry Potter. Yep, I did that too. May do Lord of the Rings over Thanksgiving. We're gonna TV-wise Star Trek Voyager and Doctor Who. Nice. Yeah, I did. The Harry Potter marathon was interesting because I had not seen some of those earlier movies more than once. I mean, my favorite by far is the fourth one, and I've watched that one so many different times. But yeah, I had the others. I really had not rewatched a lot at all, and it was kind of interesting to go through it all again and see. And I remember when I was actually reading the books, book number 5, I stopped. I couldn't, and it was a battle. That was the first book that I really battled with because Harry was so irritating, and I couldn't with his attitude. And so it took me forever to get through 5. And I finally forced myself to do it. And then, of course, but I haven't read the rest of them over again, but I dreaded that movie too, but it really wasn't as bad. He was still a punk, but I mean, I was so irritated with that fifth book. This over here. Let's get some shading. There's got to be other movie marathons. I don't really do a Tremors marathon. I just stick to the first one because it's my absolute favorite, and I can absolutely quote it backwards and forwards. Don't really want to admit that, but here we are. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure movie. Whenever it's on, I will watch it, and I can recite whatever part they're on. It's just a good movie. It's a good movie. It's a perfect movie, and I've said it before. It sets it up. If you once you've watched it a couple times, then you kind of know a little bit about movie structure and the rules, the general rules that, you don't, if you're going to use something in Act 3, you set it up and introduce it in Act 1. So, it comes back. And you can see that in that movie because you see the ending of the movie in the first few minutes when they're standing there. And it comes back at the end. And, you can kind of see that in Tombstone. You can, not even kind of, that they directly draw back on different things in that one. But speaking of that one, I watched that one recently too. Rewatched it rather. Such a good movie. And I'm not really a Western person at all, but I will watch Tombstone gleefully. Just for Val Kilmer. Let's see, what other series have I gone through? I know that there are other ones. Die Hard. Well, no, I don't really do that. I just do. I like 2. I enjoyed 3. interesting trivia about 3, though. It was originally a Lethal Weapon movie, and you can kind of see it with the buddy cop kind of play between Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. I don't quite remember how it fell out of Lethal Weapon production into a Die Hard movie, though. But I enjoyed the second one quite a bit. Well, no, the third one had Jeremy Irons in it, too. He plays a good bad guy. But I don't really watch that in a series. What else do I watch in a series? Then I just have to start picturing my movie shelf. I mean, to some extent, the Mission Impossibles. I did Hunger Games not too long ago. I could probably do the Alien movies. I could, but I don't. Because I watched the second one more than the first, even though I enjoy the first is just different than Aliens on so many levels. I feel like the first one is closer to The Thing and kind of the psychological horror of being stuck on this, in The Thing, they're stuck on a research facility in the middle of, of the ice. You have no rescue. It's kind of similar being stuck on a spaceship with this, this alien that's destroying everything. It's kind of that psychological horror angle. But the Aliens is, I put it more towards just the action, kind of classic 80s action. Oh gosh, and there was a reel on Instagram that was using the Casper music, so now I have to watch Casper again. I think that was part of my Halloween movie marathon last year. Gotta get Casper, gotta get Hocus Pocus. All the good ones in there. I haven't watched Goonies in a while. I need to get Goonies back in the queue. Alright, so let's get some text in here. Let's get these guys colored in here. I think I'm going to put maybe a very subtle checkerboard in the background, like maybe a gingham pattern. All right, there we go. Oops, gotta set you guys to the back. There we go. Let's get these guys fixed up here. Make one of these a white pumpkin. I really like those. I like mixing them up. I always get, oh, it's more of an orange. Easy. Yeah, I'll do a gradient on him, I think. I get a mixture of ones in the front. H-E-B starts putting their pumpkins on sale. Actually, they're doing it now. It's not the best sale, but they really start discounting them. I would say like first, well, especially closer it gets to Halloween, but definitely the first couple weeks. October, gosh, when did I get pumpkins last year? Because I filled up a cart and they were huge and it was just like $40 for 10 pumpkins. It was ridiculous. And I managed to get, they had these, the giant ones, they're a certain name, but that one was like $10. Like, are you kidding me? There's a nursery here called Cornelius, and they turn their entire floor that is usually covered in flowers, it's into Pumpkinland. And a couple years, I think the last couple of years I've gone there, I've taken plushies. I always buy something, but I take in my bag full of plushies and I just set them, you know, up around the different pumpkin displays and take product pictures. It works, and it's, there are just so many pumpkins. So many different kinds too that you don't usually see. Like at H-E-B, they'll have a couple of maybe the turban pumpkins, you know, that have like the stacks. They'll have maybe the giant ones, but then not really as much as those funky gourd things. Because there are like some green ones that are huge. gigantic gourds, and yeah, you kind of have to pay the piper for those if you want them. Hope I can't see it. I still had the draw underneath. How are these guys still not behind everything? Oh, it's because I have a little dip there. That makes it look super weird. Okay, let me go in here and fix this. Huh? Oh, just turning around? Okay. Looking so cute, having to finally install Windows 11 on my work computer and go to a meeting in a bit. So if poof before stream is done, have a great rest. Oh, you too, Sharon. Good luck on the install. I hope it goes off without a hitch. That right? I feel like that saying is not quite right. I hope it goes well without any problems. How about that? Without any issues. The thing is, if there's an issue, we have IT guy and like at home. Oh no! And just poke things until all of a sudden it works. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I'm out to get going to. There's an event I'm going to later today. And oh, take care, Catherine. Thank you so much for stopping by, both of you. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. And I'll hopefully see you next time. Itchy cheek. Let's get this leafy cover stuff here. Oh. Ooh, almost. Almost on that. Wonder, I wonder if I shouldn't make it a little bit lighter. I think I know what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna group this and then I'm gonna do this. just think I messed up. I really kind of messed up. Although I think I can do this and group that and send it to the back. There we go. Now let's... Oh, I forgot this, didn't I? Oh, actually, that kind of looks kind of fun with the switch, but let's make it into a group. I really should have drawn... Here we go. So I can grab this. I'm going to group these two, and then let's bump it down. Maybe let's see how 50% looks, because I want it to be subtle. Really? What's going on here? Did I duplicate something? Why are you not cooperating? Well, that's why. I didn't select everything. You need to select absolutely everything. There we go. Now, we can take 50%. There! And there. I've got my background now. And I can... Let's see. I want to do some little... Just throw some little sparklies here, just not too... Give me this guy. Thank you. Let's group. And I can add some sparklies. The stream. I'm doing all right. How about yourself? Just getting finished with these update graphics. I'm gonna add those seasonal shirts to the shop that I've been working on stream. I got my updated samples in and everything's good, and so I'm ready to push those live. And then I just wanted to make a little update panel that I can kind of drag different text into, put links on, and just used in general for fall. I think this would be nice. Let's hit save. Alright, so that's done. And let me make a version. Let me just do a square version that I'll post for my daily tonight. Shorten everything up. And it'll be super easy since all of my elements are grouped. Except for the shop update at the top and my sparklies. Okay, well, I can... Uh-oh. Floof is getting cut off. he's got his head in the clouds. Alright, so there's that. That was super easy. Let's see, what else do I need to do? I've got, sorry baby, I'm sorry. Do those reels. I want to see if I can open. Got a paste from you. Oh, we did. Thank you. This has the wrong, completely, totally wrong thing on it, but it's alright. This white background, yep. I didn't get the PNGs, did I? I only got one PNG. I'll have to go and re-download. So these are the ones that there is also not a PNG, which is disappointing. I think I downloaded those for the website. I'll just have to go and although I could. That's not gonna take that long. Pretty cool seeing the steps. Yeah. All right, now with this. And that probably did take me less time than going in to download the other. Make this just a smidge bigger so I can see where I'm going. And I'll repeat the same. Almost there. Cookie. Don't need to be perfect. Just need to do a basic cut out. Don't need to be perfect. This is far less perfect than the white one was. All right, now. Hey Aiden, welcome to the stream. Here we go. Oh gosh, that's ugly. Ugh, all right, I've got to fix it. Come here. Let me see this. Ugh. This is just for a tiny little shop update on an Instagram story. You don't need to be perfect. You really don't. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. And now we make it tiny. And then we put it right here. And let's actually make all of these a little bit bigger. Send them back and bring them forward so they're behind the characters. Let's bring Harvest Bake Off down a little bit. Ghost Stories with Granny Bear. And then the Ghosty Dance. Let's bring you in a little bit. So there's that. And let me duplicate this so I can also export a blank without anything on it. Because I want the blank canvas as well as the one that already has the shirts pre-populated on it, just in case. Well, I know that I'll want to go back and, type stuff and put links, but I'll have that and I'll have a cohesive design in those series. Let's see here. I think that'll probably be it for me today. I may not put this part. I may go ahead and take that out and just blow this up a little bit more as my daily. Because I'm not going to have this shop update. I'm going to be working on it today, but I probably won't have it completed to actually use the shop update graphics tonight. Most likely it will be a tomorrow deal, but that'll be what I'm working on, along with other stuff. But good spot to end it. I think I've gotten a good amount of work done. I got these 3 things that I wanted to promote here, and oh, I forgot the hayride. Well, it'll be on there too. I'll just do another slide, I think maybe just another section, because I also have a cup that have a really cute cup actually. I took the Ghost Stories with Granny Bear and I took this in the black and white, and I put one on each side of a cup with the black interior and a black handle. It's what all the other ones are, but I have colors on those. I thought this one was really cool and Halloween-y and black and white, so I did the black and white graphics of those, and it turned out super cute. So I'll have that on a separate one as well, but I don't have the mock-ups downloaded yet on that, so I can't add it now, but I will add it later. But yeah, I think that'll be it for me today. Let me go ahead and switch to my ending screen. Here we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it was a short, kind of sweet little stream here, but I had to get some good stuff done, and I think I got to a good stopping point on this, and I can switch gears to other items I need to do. But yeah, I'll be back on Thursday with comics, and I hope to see you then as well. Thank you, Omar, Dee, Aiden. I know Sharon and Catherine, you've gone out already, but thank you again for stopping by. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.